Hi, and welcome to Wake Up Canada News. I'm Brad Weiler. Well, another year has passed, and Canada is still broken under a Justin Trudeau government. Cheers. Can't quite blame it all on Justin, though. Jagmeet Singh, his NDPs, and the Liberal coalition have caused this kind of a year in review of just how bad things have become. There's more to come right after this. At the Cork and Flame, we're always cooking and ready with the finest for all our customers any time of day or night. From breakfast brunch to lunch and dinner, steak and seafood to ribs and more. The Cork and Flame Fine Dining. Always fresh, with fabulous desserts and a narration of the urban landscape, plus a passion for quality food. Eat, drink, chill. Cork and Flame, 3106 Portage Avenue. There's no hurry, so sit back and relax. Welcome back. Over the past 12 months, Wake Up Canada News has continued to provide viewers with independent perspectives on Canadian politics, society, and even global issues. We're known for, our alternative takes on mainstream narratives. We've gained attention for covering topics often overlooked by traditional media outlets. Here's a look back at some of the key highlights from Wake Up Canada News over this past year. Coverage of political, protests and activism are one of the biggest themes in 2023 leading into 2024. And the ongoing political activism across Canada was really strong. The protests, particularly those organized by groups advocating for freedom of expression, anti-mandates, and government transparency, were a focal point for Wake Up Canada News. We provided in-depth coverage of grassroots movements, including interviews with activists, analysis of political events, and discussions on how these movements are reshaping Canada's political landscape. The protests that continued in cities like Ottawa and across provincial capitals regarding government restrictions were central to discussions. Our channel highlighted the challenges faced by demonstrators and provided critical commentary on the responses from law enforcement and even government officials. We provided analysis of Canadian government policies as Canada grappled with issues such as COVID-19 restrictions, vaccine mandates, and climate policies. Wake Up Canada News provided a critical lens on the actions of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's administration. We discussed the economic and social impacts of government mandates, inflation, and the growing divide between political elites and everyday Canadians. Coverage of the federal budget and even policies surrounding energy, healthcare, and housing were all reoccurring themes, with a focus on, holding the government accountable. Wake Up Canada News often sought to give voice to concerns about rising costs of living and perceived overreach by the state. Environmental issues and climate policies. Environmental concerns continue to be a point of, heated debate in 2023 leading into 2024 as well, with Canada's ambitious climate goals and government-led initiatives to combat climate change. Wake Up Canada News offered, that alternative perspective, and the channel provided critiques of policies such as carbon tax restrictions on resource industries and the impact of these policies on local communities, particularly in the oil and gas sectors. We also featured discussions on the political consequences of overregulation and government interference in natural resource management, challenging the mainstream environmental narrative in favor of more balanced, diverse viewpoints. The social issues and state of free speech and freedom of speech remained a dominant issue throughout 2024, with Wake Up Canada News regularly covering discussions surrounding censorship, particularly on social media platforms, and its impact on public discourse in Canada. We highlighted controversial topics such as Bill C-10 and C-11, which sought to regulate online content as well as the broader implications for free speech. Debates around education, particularly gender identity policies in schools, were also prominent. We focused on how these social changes were affecting Canadian families and communities, providing a platform for concerned parents and educators. Global events and their impact on Canada beyond Canadian borders. Well, Wake Up Canada News delved into the global events that had significant implications for Canada. The ongoing geopolitical tensions, especially with Russia and China, were covered extensively. We also explored how these global dynamics were influencing Canada's foreign policy, trade relationships, and national security concerns. The rise of inflation and the economic consequences of global supply chain disruptions were also topics of concern as Canadians dealt with the financial fallout from global crisis. Our interviews with experts and alternative voices throughout the year on Wake Up Canada News featured interviews with experts and independent journalists and political commentators who offered alternative views on current events. These interviews help provide a wider range of perspectives on issues often ignored by mainstream media. Whether discussing the economy, politics, or social issues, we remain committed to presenting diverse opinions and fostering open debate. Debunking mainstream narratives, well, true to its independent nature, Wake Up Canada News continued its mission to challenge mainstream media narratives. We regularly critique news coverage, providing viewers with counter-narratives and deeper insights into stories that were often presented with bias in traditional outlets. From election coverage to media spin, Wake Up Canada News aimed to empower Canadians with a fuller understanding of the issues shaping their lives. In 2024, Wake Up Canada News remained a strong voice in the independent media space, offering critical commentary on the most pressing issues facing Canada and the world. With a focus on political analysis, social justice, freedom of speech, and global events, we have continued to provide a platform for alternative perspectives in a year full of challenges and change. As Canada moves into 2025, it's clear that Wake Up Canada News will remain a key source for those seeking unfiltered news and analysis. Thanks for watching Wake Up Canada News. You'll see me again in 2025. Please like, share, and follow us on YouTube, X, Rumble, and BitChute. Remember, you're the voice. It's time to make it count. Happy New Year.